But anyway, so that was nice. The guy reformed a little bit, and and then there was a young fellow in there who stayed with the forum a long time, and there was an agnostic in England on the forum, and and there was another atheist who wasn't quite as expressive or something. So, and there was a young woman who lived, I think, in the South somewhere of America, not South America, but in the southern states of America. And so, anyway, we all went back and forth, and things happened because the thread ran for a long time. There were like, I guess, 2,000 posts, and like the young man that was on the forum that was a Christian, he lived with his father. His mother was very sick, and at one point during the thread, he told us that his mother had um, had gone to the hospital and was in intensive care. And he said, he told us the whole story. So at that point, there was only myself and the Christian woman that lived in the South, and we both told him that we would pray for his mother. Now, at the same time, we had an agnostic on the list, an agnostic and an atheist, or maybe they were both agnostic or whatever. And so they watched the list. We all watched the list, right? And finally, after so many days, I don't know how many, it was only a few days, he posted back to the list that he said it's like a miracle, that the doctors don't know what happened. She's been let out of the hospital. She'll be all right. She's doing fine. So anyway, it's like and we told this guy, we said thank God that she's all right. And the atheist and the agnostic, they made no comment. They made no comment when she was sick. They didn't say I'm sorry to hear it or anything. They did made no comment when the woman was well. So what is it all about, really? What is it about? I mean, that thread is a scientific study, And there was a guy that was saying, the agnostic. He was saying that, I'm a skeptic, and he's giving us all this shtick about how he's a skeptic. And I was saying, I pulled the dictionary out on him, and I gave him what Webster said about skeptics. I said there's a first definition, of skeptic. You don't believe human knowledge is possible. That's the first definition. And like the third definition down, I gave him several definitions. The third definition down is somebody who opposes Christianity is a skeptic. So there you go, you know. And I was very appreciative. He was very honest. He said, "Well, that's basically the skeptic that I am." And oh my God, there's 100 of them on YouTube, but they're not honest like this guy was. They didn't say that they're skeptics just because they can't stand Christianity. They didn't say it, but this guy would, you know. So anyway, I don't know. It's that kind of thing. And, maybe a few other things happened on that list, but those were the significant things, aside from one thing. It's just that the woman on the thread, she, her marriage went on the rocks for some reason, and she decided that she would seek a divorce. But other than that, everything was pretty darn positive on that list. Everything came out a little bit better, so it was a very good thread. It's. So anyway, um, well, anyway, there's this, standard, standard issue SOP here, uh, Christian Flyer, is there a God? And they never say anything about the first commandment, that we are to know God or anything. They never get into it. I mean, it was not they. There's this woman that wrote it, Marilyn Adamson. And I don't blame her because she just, ditto copied this from, everybody that ever taught her anything. So anyway, and it's a paper tiger game, really. It really is. So anyway, and, they've got all this stuff on here, the physics of water, the existence of the earth. The brains exist, eyes exist, the universe started, you know. Why does God does God exist? The universe operates by uniform laws. You know, well, if the universe exists, it's got to do something. So anyway, does God exist? And then they have some statements about DNA, and um, and then it goes on, Then it tries to get more personal. It says, we know God exists because he pursues us. He's constantly initiating, seeking us to come to him. But, in this statement, in this very convoluted statement where they start, this woman confesses that she was an atheist and all this kind of stuff. It gets a little bit beyond it. Okay, she came to God, but did she come to God? You know what I mean? It goes on and on. But, then it goes on to the next paragraph. Unlike any other revelation from God, Jesus Christ is the clearest, most specific picture of God revealing himself to us. Well, I think that should be said more clearly, and it's, I think God reveals himself in everything that is provided, so I don't think that, uh, well, I don't know. She's not making her point very well with that sentence, whatever her point is. And then it goes on about why Jesus and all that sort of thing. And let me see. It goes into quotes and everything. Let me see. Now, see, it says, okay. See, she says in this sentence, what sets Jesus apart from all others? He said God exists and you're looking at him. Now, she doesn't know what a horrible paraphrase of what Jesus actually said. That is. That's not what he said. Jesus said something like that. He who sees me sees the Father. But he wasn't saying, that he is the Father. That he wasn't saying that. I think what it has to be, is he's talking about his name and the experience he had, which is his name, that the eternal God delivers us. Jesus was delivered by the eternal God. He was moved from one place to the next place. So he was uncreated, he was recreated. So he was born of God. He was honestly Son of God, because God created him, and so anyway, God is so. Jesus took that to be his own very name. Uh, God delivers us. That experience,